So my garden kind of failed a little bit, but I'm not really looking at this as a failure because really we learned a lot. And so I want to talk about this and more. And if you guys are the same, just like me, who started your own bed garden and you failed and you want to know why, subscribe, turn on notifications, give this video a thumbs up because we need to talk about really what happened here. If you have no idea what we tried doing here, go back and watch the video of us building this, because essentially we have a master plan of our backyard and there's so many things we want to do with it. But until we can get a garden down there, I decided to build a little one right over here. This is kind of what our setup was. Over here, we put some mint, some wildflowers. This is our apple tree, which was getting killed from vines next door. We were able to cut that down. Yeah, it looks kind of stick right now, but it is coming back to life slowly. You can see a lot of leaves have actually emerged since I actually cut it down. You can see a lot of it is coming back to life, though I'm going to cut it down a little more up there a little bit. Actually, there's a lot of green growing up. Moving this way, we had cucumbers, sunflowers are supposed to be in the back. We have basil, peppers. Then over here are tomatoes. But as you could tell, this is not a flourishing garden at all. There are a lot of factors that went wrong. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not upset. This is a good learning lesson. We just bought the house. And so this was my first attempt of really trying a garden in my new house. And I knew there'd be some challenges, but it failed. Looking at it right now, you could see it's not really full. And the funny thing is, it was about 2 days ago. We're not going to take away what happened the past 2 days with this garden. We're going to ignore that. And though I am going to explain to you in a second and really talk about what failed in the garden itself. When we first started this garden, I knew I was fighting two different things. One is we live in the woods, okay? So when you have woods like this, that means there's not a lot of natural light that comes in. And I mean, plants, whatever you grow, it needs a lot of light. We learned that lesson a lot, especially with the apple tree that was not growing at all because why? It wasn't getting any light. Those things on top, those vines, were choking it all. You can see all the brown up here, was choking it all. At the end of the day, I wound up cutting it all off. I took maybe 200 pounds of vines off of this tree, and I hope to save it for next year. And yes, I know it's crooked. The original homeowner told me that their son planted this, so it's been here for 32 years. I was trying to keep it alive, and I could always buy a new one, and then a couple of years later, it'll give me some apples, but really want to try to save this one because it's pretty mature. The second factor we had is the soil, okay? Soil is very acidic to begin with. So when you want to do this, I think the first mistake was we didn't do it high enough. We only did about 6 inches. Well, I tilted the first level, then we added the soil and then a little bit of kind of ground coffee and things like that. And I think it needed to be at least 2 feet because the acidity of the ground was just too much for it. To combat not having enough light, I added in these. These are UV lamps. And they obviously helped out a lot. You could see how big the tomato plants grew, but then they were never flowering. It wasn't until about a week and a half ago, and actually we'll say 3 to 4 weeks ago, that we finally had gotten some flowers on here, which you could see, but it's too late in the season to do anything with it. But we did eventually finally get 3 tomatoes. You got 2 tiny ones here, and then the oldest one, which is hiding behind here. Though 3 tomatoes for 4 plants, no good. Once again, soil, not enough light. Also could be that we planted a little bit too late in the season. As you continue our tour, you'll notice I said sunflowers. And usually this is the time of year that sunflowers are all the way up here. What happened? Well, the birds and squirrels ate them all. They took them out within about a week and a half of them budding. For about like 2 inches, they were ripped out. So now I know. If I plant those, I have to do them in a greenhouse kind of style. If not, they're going to be eaten. And the same thing that happened to the tomatoes with it not having enough light, same thing happened with these peppers. And then the basil, and then the cucumbers. Now this is where the kind of weird part of this video happened. You see, we knew we had problems with deer. Deer will come over and eat everything. I mean, they came over, they ate these 2, practically dead. They ate half of this plant. They eat all of our flowers on the other side of the house. We love deer. I feed the deer. We give them corn and lettuce and carrots and pretty much everything that the supermarket would throw away. I just kind of asked if I could just have to feed the deer, and they're happy to give it to me. So I put these screens up. Well, turns out there's another animal over here grabbing my stuff because I was going to film this video yesterday, got a little too busy, and I had a bell pepper on here, and then someone ate it. So this morning I said to my wife, oh, we have one cucumber dangling here. Oh, I'm going to pull this up for the video. It was nice and full and beautiful, and we'll film something about it. Whatever it is, ate this, ate all the leaves off of the cucumbers, ate the entire bell pepper plant. So essentially, for this season, I'm going to walk away with 3 tomatoes that have not grown, and that's it. I mean, look, gone, gone, gone. The bite in here, leaves gone, gone. All this gone in here. This poor pepper plant, look at this. It is all eaten all the way down. And there is the bell pepper down here. What does this mean moving forward? Well, if I want to do any kind of garden, it's going to have to be enclosed, or it needs to be 2 feet off the ground. 2 feet of soil should be good enough so that the acidity of that soil won't ruin the plants. Next is, it's gonna have to be done in some kind of greenhouse. I already bought one. Believe it or not, Lowe's has a end of this year or end of the summer season sale. And so they've been throwing away or giving away. I'm saying giving away because these greenhouses normally cost $100. I'm getting them for like $14, which is practically free. In my wood store, I have showed you multiple times of what our game plan is, which I'll link in the description below. But essentially, over here is going to be where my plants are going to go. And yeah, I know there's a lot of trees, a lot of coverage, but this tree, that tree, this tree, this tree, that tree, and all this is going to be cleared out, including these ones over here. And you can see we have a clearing back here. So there will be enough direct light coming down here. Once I finally level this down and put, 3 rows of raised beds at 2 feet, and there's going to be 2 fruit trees and a couple other things going that way. So as you can see, it really wasn't a failure, though it surely feels like it, because I walked away with nothing after, no one say only for $150, so I wouldn't say expensive, but it's just a life lesson. I'm just blessed that I'm able to have this opportunity to film this stuff for you so that you guys don't make the same mistakes. Which, new lawn for me, and I'm still learning how it works. You can see how where I put all the seed and everything, it grew so beautifully. So I'm learning that this side over here, which I have to smooth out here for next year, I'm gonna have to put in some time and work to get some kind of fertilizer and seed, because once you move this way, you notice this is not grass. This is all moss in here. So come next year, whole lawn's gonna be up for a brand new tear out, fertilize, and a lot of seed, because my experiment over here worked very, very well. Once again, all learning lesson. There's different things like this here. This means a deer came back here and ate. Oh my God, look at this. A deer came back here and and ate some more of my stuff. So the deer coming up here, this is what they ate, half of this plant. So I'm learning. They ate this entire plant in the season. I planted these ones. They started nibbling on these. So these deer that I love are slowly trying to kill all my vegetation. All that being said, I have a lot of videos talking and showcasing all the projects we're doing here at my house within the first year. And I'm updating you guys and filming so many new videos. So if you are a DIYer, or DIY, whatever it is, I'm dyslexic, I can't do letters. If you do those kind of videos, this is a channel you want to watch, because we're doing a lot of stuff on our own. I have the retention wall we're going to do soon. The steps I'm not going to do because I don't trust myself. Electric work, I'll try to do some of it. So if you want to join us for that stuff, please make sure you subscribe, you turn in notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey. Stay safe. See you later. Bye.